Good morning, television family. Back at it for another exciting week of local television here on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. It's a Monday, 20th day of October, 2025. I am Dan Kuntz, your host. You know, if you've been watching this show for any period of time, you know what Mondays are here around the broadcast Metroplex. We're here, we work, we don't work real hard. Actually, we're going to have to work hard today. We got a lot to get to today. Wasn't that rain just wonderful yesterday? We got almost a third of an inch of rain, which was a new record for October 19th. It was coming down pretty good. My next door neighbor, an elderly man, about 4 o'clock yesterday afternoon, started to build an ark. Got a little worried there. We dodged that bullet. Much needed rain. No rain today or for the rest of the week, and then another rainy weekend is coming our way. Very October-ish weather, if you will. We'll have all of that for you. A lot of news to get to. We got some footage of the No Kings demonstration at Memorial Park, about a block from where we're sitting. We'll have that. A lot of news actually to get to on a Monday. It's usually not the case. We always have a lot of sports to get to. We all know what happened. Mariners lose 6-2, killed themselves with the double plays. So here we go. For the first time in franchise history, the Mariners will play a Game 7. They win tonight. They win their first ever pennant after 49 years of baseball in the Great Pacific Northwest, and they're on to the World Series. 7th game tonight, 5:08. Don't bug me. In the back half of the program, it's my good buddy Pete Van Well, one of the great local Rotarians. All the Rotarians are good people. It's kind of a definition of being in a Rotary. And they're continuing their international quest, if you will, to eradicate polio. They still haven't gotten there. They're making progress, but it's something that all the Rotary clubs all over the world are trying to get done. And the local Rotarian groups, all 4 of them here in the Wenatchee Valley, are teaming up to do some events over the next few days, culminating with your chance to drink beer and raise money on October 30th. Pete Van Well, good friend of our program, will join me in the back half of the program. Let's see what we look like on this Monday. First of all, everything is nice and clean. All that rain. Oh, it was just awesome to see that rain come down. I went out on my front porch and just watched it for a while yesterday. It was that cool. Looks like our PTZ camera there at the tip of Wenatchee Heights is zoomed back a little bit. PTZ is an acronym. That means we can pan, we can tilt, we can zoom, and we have decided to zoom out quite a ways. That's a beautiful view there. Everything's nice and clean. The fires are probably all but out now, I would assume. I don't know how much rain the fires got, but again, at Pangbourne, we got almost a third of an inch of rain yesterday, and it came down pretty intense. And by the way, on Saturday, we had about a 1/10 of an inch of rain, so just what the doctor ordered there, but we're still in a drought. Camera number 2 is going to take us to Chelan. There we go, the Upper Butte camera, looking north towards Holden Village and Stehekin. There's Wapato Point sticking out there. Let me check. In Manson right now, you are at 39 degrees. Here in the big city, 43. Warm spot is Ephrata at 46. Everybody's going to see quite a bit of sunshine all the way through the week until we get late on Thursday. So 3 days of bountiful sunshine for the most part, and it looks like a little snow up there as well. Tumwater Canyon camera to look at Leavenworth. Oh, that's Valley High. Well, either way. Hello, Valley High. How are you? It's good to see you. I hope the football team won. The Valley High football team won, of course, on Friday night. It was homecoming at Valley High. The fighting Foggers. I'm making all of that stuff up. So anyway, good morning to Valley High on Blewett Pass. Things are looking a little foggy there. Outside of that, pretty good. Blewett Pass is going to get some snow this weekend, though. All the passes are. And the Olney Garden camera, we haven't used this one for a while. This is actually Monitor. There'll be a job opening shortly to produce this show. You can send me your resume. That way we'll get the camera straightened out. That's the Monitor camera looking at Cashmere. There's the morning commute. A lot of folks live in the Upper Valley, Cashmere, Peshastin, even Leavenworth. We have a couple of coworkers who live in Leavenworth, and they commute into the big city every day. That's why you see all the headlights heading into the Wenatchee Valley and not a lot of taillights heading the other direction. And you can see they got some snow last night in the upper elevation. So there you go. So what do we have in store for us? Well, from our friends at Colonial Vista Senior Living in Wenatchee. That's where comfort, care, and community come together. Quite a bit of sunshine today, just a couple of clouds late in the day today. We'll get up to about 58 degrees, 39 for the overnight low tonight. We're under the influence of a weak ridge of high pressure, not particularly strong, but there's also nothing out there to knock it out of the way. So that's why we're going to do it again on Tuesday. Right around 59. Our normal high this time of the year is 59, so you can't ask for more normal conditions. Wednesday, sunshine for the most part until very late in the day, and a high of 59 degrees. It'll be fairly cloudy Wednesday night and Thursday, but no rain in the forecast until we get to Thursday night. And I mean in the wee small hours of the morning, more like early Friday morning than Thursday night. That's when our chance of rain goes up to 40%, 80% chance of rain on Friday. That is good, and a good chance of rain right through Friday night. For Friday during the day, 80% chance of precipitation. Friday night, 70%. Saturday, 60%. Saturday night, 70%. We're looking for a pretty wet weekend. And by the way, starting on Friday, the snow level in the passes will be about 4,500 feet. By Saturday afternoon, it'll drop down to about 4,000 feet. It'll be even lower Sunday and Monday. The snow level on Sunday night into Monday is going to be about 2,500 feet. And a couple of those sheltered valleys, you could see some frost as well as we get through the rest of the work week. All right, we're going to take a 2-minute break because that's what they tell me I have to do now, and we'll come back with the news. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Caught in a conflict? Family, workplace, neighbor, business, housing disputes? Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center provides mediation services, a cost-effective and efficient way to provide a written resolution to disputes and issues. Plus, we offer mediation training and community education on conflict resolution and communication skills. Contact us to learn more.
Hi, I'm Amanda Walden with A. Walden Insurance Group. The Medicare annual enrollment period runs October 15th through December 7th, and this year brings important changes to Medicare and prescription drug costs. I offer no-cost plan reviews to help you compare benefits and be confident in your coverage for the year ahead. I've specialized in Medicare insurance for nearly a decade and would love to assist you. Call or visit me today at my office in Wenatchee.
Craving fresh Asian comfort food? Steam Panda is Wenatchee's popular, family-friendly Asian restaurant. They focus on providing guests with delicious, healthy, fresh, and natural dishes for an affordable price. Warm up with one of their many popular house-made soup dumplings, ramen noodles, or pho dishes. And make sure to ask about their lunch and chef specials on sushi rolls. Steam Panda's Hawaiian poke bowl and salads are excellent with your favorite boba tea. Stop by or order online at Steam Panda today.
You won't be voting for Congress or the presidency this year, but local elections are the place where your voice can make the most difference. Wenatchee Valley candidates are lining up to serve on city councils and school boards on both sides of the Columbia River. NCW Life put all of them in the hot seat so you can find the ones who represent you the best. Watch our interviews at these times and dates right here on our channel or anytime online at ncwlife.com. You're watching the NCW Life channel. Your vote matters to us.
Just a few high clouds, 43 degrees here in the Wenatchee Valley. Bountiful sunshine for the next 3 days. Right around that 60-degree mark for the afternoon high. We'll start seeing the clouds roll in Wednesday night, and by the time we get to Friday, rain. Friday night, rain. Saturday, rain. Saturday night, rain. Sunday, rain. It's 9 minutes after the hour. An estimated 1,500 people participated on Saturday for Wenatchee's second No Kings rally, voicing opposition, of course, to the Trump administration's policies on immigration, the environment, the economy, and more. The crowd in Memorial Park carried signs with messages like, "When cruelty becomes normal, compassion looks radical, and we love America, we just hate kings." About 7 million people took part in protests nationwide. The first No Kings rally took place on June 14th. This one comes, of course, amid a government shutdown over the federal budget and continuing cuts by the president to U.S. government departments and programs. The demonstration went on peacefully, lasted for a little more than 3 hours. No reports of any arrests or disturbances. Two separate accidents on Highway 97 near Chelan, both about 3 miles apart, sent a combined 10 people to the hospital. The first and most serious of these accidents happened on Saturday afternoon when, according to the Washington State Patrol, a southbound 2003 Subaru Legacy being driven by 22-year-old Jackson T. Mallory of Seattle crossed the center line and collided head-on with a 2016 GMC Canyon. Mallory was airlifted to Sacred Heart Medical Center in Spokane. A 10-year-old passenger in the Canyon was flown by helicopter to Harborview Medical Center in Seattle. The other 4 occupants in the Canyon, all from Bridgeport, were taken to Lake Chelan Health Hospital. The cause of that accident is under investigation. And then almost exactly 24 hours later, the State Patrol says a northbound 2023 Kia sedan crossed the center line and struck a southbound 2007 Ford F-350 pickup, and that caused the truck to roll over before coming to rest on its top. The driver and 3 passengers of the pickup, including 2 juveniles, were taken to Confluence Health Hospital with undisclosed injuries. The driver of the Kia, 21-year-old David I. Polvoy of Lake Stevens, was not injured but faces charges of crossing the center line. Knapp's Hill Tunnel on Highway 97A is going to be closed briefly this afternoon. They need to inspect the new lighting system that they put in. The Washington State Department of Transportation installed 160 new bulbs with new wiring and conduits that adjust to the level of daylight outside, plus a backup system in case of blackouts. The installation process began in early September. Travelers between Antioch and Chelan, you're going to be detoured onto Highway 971. The closure will begin at noon today. It's expected to last no more than a couple of hours. 10 years ago, the Twisp River Fire claimed the lives of 3 firefighters in Okanogan County, but their legacy continues to resound through music. The Eastmont High School Choir is joining with the Apollo Club to perform Firefighters' Creed. It's a choral piece composed by Central Washington University professor V.J. Singh. Choir teacher Brittany Stevens says preparing the piece has helped students process emotion and understand the power of art in healing. The tribute piece will be a part of Eastmont High's concert tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. We had a chance to speak with Stevens and other participants about their thoughts on the musical composition.
So I've had this piece in my heart for 10 years. I was a student at Central when it premiered. I was in the audience at its premiere. The composer of this piece was one of my professors, and I got to see my classmates perform it. So in that performance, I was in tears. I gave it a standing ovation, the whole room did. And it's just, as a teacher, you keep pieces that are powerful to you and you keep them in your heart until the right moment comes along. And so I've been sitting on this for 10 years, literally. And this year it was the 10-year anniversary of its composition and of the passing of those 3 firefighters. And it just felt like this is the right moment. I had a group of really powerful and willing young men who wanted to take on the challenge. And we have been just filled with smoke all summer and fall, and so it felt relevant and it felt attainable.
That's the other thing that connects this whole thing together that's so beautiful. I mean, if you lived here in 2015, you knew about that tragic story with losing these firefighters, and the fact that V.J. Singh lives in the area. He was hearing this too. He knew about it. He knew the story, and he wrote a piece of music as a tribute to them. And yet, is it being sung in Kentucky? I don't know, but it should be sung in Washington State, where we do know the history of these people. Who they were our people. They were people who lived in Washington and fought fires for us. Just, it all ties everything together.
When I first heard about what this piece was honoring, I didn't know a whole lot, and so I researched and found out about how many people lost important figures in their life. So that admittedly made me feel quite sad. But I enjoyed how there was a whole song dedicated to honoring their memory. The first feelings that come to mind are those of anger, especially during the second verse, and of sadness during the start and near the end. But another big feeling that comes up is that of retribution and wanting to do right by their memory.
I feel like this song embodies what we're talking about in our music in that really tangible way, where we're connecting with others outside of our own school and we're bonding over music. And I hope that they are able to feel that. We have another song in this concert that has a lyric that says, "But music and singing have been my refuge, and music and singing shall be my light. Through darkness and pain and strife, I'll sing." And I really wanted to equip my students with the tools that they need as adolescents to make it through this really heavy world that we're in right now. And so I hope that's what they take from it. We've been really diving into the lyrics and what it would feel like to lose a friend in a tragic way, and what we can do to express that through music.
And again, that concert is tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. Enjoy. And that is the news on this Monday. The whole crew will be gathering together once again to figure out what the news is, gathering news, disseminating news, writing news, filming news, doing like this with their hands. I don't know what they do. I try and stay out of their way, and I think they appreciate it. And all of it is to put together a newscast tonight at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock. That's the air times, the traditional airing of the NCAA Life Evening News, 5, 6, and 10. We're on Roku, we're on Apple, we're on Amazon Fire. We got all kinds of social media accounts that I don't have anything to do with. And if you have a news tip, send us an email, news@ncwlife.com. For the first time in franchise history, the Mariners will play a Game 7. Unfortunately. Sports is next. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Your favorite local channel is now available for free on your smart TV and connected streaming devices. Watch live programming and catch up with the latest shows on demand. See the local stories that matter to you. NCW Life, now on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV.
You trust the same doctor for your health and the same dentist for your smile. Trust Global Car Care to keep your vehicle running strong. We track your car's history so it gets the right care at the right time. With our 3-year, 36,000-mile warranty on parts and labor, you'll drive away with confidence. Global Car Care, your automotive experts. We service all makes and models, but specialize in Sprinter vans, Mercedes, Audi, Volkswagen, and BMW. Call or visit us today.
Is your yard outdated, overgrown, or just not working for your lifestyle? At Bailey's Pro Landscaping, they specialize in transforming ordinary outdoor spaces into beautiful, low-maintenance landscapes built for Central Washington living. From custom designs to full installation, they bring expertise, creativity, and craftsmanship to every job. Your yard has potential. Start your project with Bailey's Pro Landscaping.
For over 35 years, the Sangster family has been not only representing GMC, but the entire community.
As one of the few family-owned dealerships in Washington, you can count on our personal integrity, which has spanned over 3 generations, to ensure your satisfaction.
Sangster Motors stands behind everything we sell, from GMC professional-grade products and service from a professional-grade dealership.
Remember, caring about your family is what brings you back to ours.
Sports at 19 minutes after the hour. The Mariners hit into 3 inning-ending double plays in 3 straight innings, and they made a season-high 3 errors. 6-2, the final. The Blue Jays over the Mariners. There will be a Game 7 in the American League Championship Series. The only Major League team without a pennant. The Mariners will play a Game 7 for the first time in franchise history tonight in Toronto. The winner will take on the National League champion Los Angeles Dodgers for the World Championship starting on Friday.
From 0-2 to 2-2 on Barger. Goes up to get it, bangs a base hit to right. Blue Jays on the board first. It's a second inning burst, and it's 1-0 Toronto as Barger drives in Varsho.
That splitter hung right there, almost on a tee, and now Gilbert's finding himself in a really tough spot. And we know what this lineup can do and how many times they can put up a crooked number.
First and third, nobody out. Here's a 1-2 pitch. Puts this one in play. Suarez has no play, and it's 2-0. Jays doing what the Jays do. Infield hit, Kiner Falefa.
2 strike pitches are catching too much off the plate, and once that ball was hit, as soon as it was hit that slowly, there was really no chance for Suarez. And now that big inning, you're worried about if your Seattle is looming.
Ground ball, diving stop Suarez from his knees to second to end the inning.
What a play.
Wow, Eugenio Suarez, who had an error in this inning that opened the door for the Blue Jays to get a couple runs. Saves a couple right here. Plus minus even for Gino. Bases loaded in a 2-0 game. See what he goes with first pitch. It is grounded to first. Vlad will go to second for 1. To a covering to Savage 2. A 3-6-1 twin killing. And the 22-year-old gets Cal Raleigh on 1 pitch to get out of this inning unscathed. Boy, this would be a huge run here. Logan Gilbert 1 out away from having a clean inning, and now he's looking at runner at third, 2 out. Lifts one in the air, right center field. It is gone. Base is empty, 2 outs. 3 pitches later, 2 runs are in.
You literally could draw a line down the middle of the plate and put a coffee can in the center of it, and that's where most of those pitches that catch that part of the plate are not being missed by the Toronto Blue Jays. The one thing Crawford has done, especially here, hit a lot of ground balls to the right side, specifically to the second baseman. He does that again, he's going to have to run hard to beat a double play.
To second on a short hop, 4-6-3, double play again. There it was. He pulled it to the right side. And for the second consecutive inning, the Mariners come away empty-handed. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. leads off the 5th against Logan Gilbert. Here's 1-1 to Guerrero. Is whacked to left field. Forget about it. Gone. Vladimir Guerrero Jr.'s 6th home run of the postseason makes it 5-0 Toronto. And it's the Blue Jays offense coming to life again. 2 home runs in this game and 5 runs through 5 innings. What an October this has been for the franchise face, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Here he comes to Josh Naylor with a high fly ball to deep right field. There goes the shutout. Naylor goes very deep and makes it 5-1. The Mississauga kid, for the 2nd time in this series, goes deep at Rogers Center, and it's 5-1.
First pitch, off speed, hanger, and he just gets the barrel out, and he knows it.
You think?
But again, with 2 outs here, attack, and if you can't get him out attacking, then he will come out to get you.
Shot to right, down the line. It's a fair ball. Up against the sidewall. Suarez falls. Here comes a throw home. It's up the line. Arozarena scores from first. Suarez settles for a single, but he's made it a 5-2 game.
Wow, was Arozarena flying. Off with contact, obviously, with 2 outs, but a little dicey if you get thrown out here, and he had a running start, as you saw. Good effort, but the throw tails.
Get a chase right here, but it kicks away. Throw to third, into left field. Guerrero comes in to score. Throwing error from Cal Raleigh. Jays get the insurance. 6-2.
He was angry running right here, and that led to a run. And watch his reaction when he touches home plate.
Vlad's good TV, man.
I could beat you in different ways, he says. That's a big run. Now you've turned it into the grand slam. The only way you can tie it via a homer.
Pop up, buckle up. for Game 7 tomorrow night. All the twists and the turns of this series, the highs and the lows, the nitpicking has led to a Game 7 to decide an American League champion.
17 innings tomorrow.
Let's go.
That's all Seattle knows how to play in chaos games.
That's true. They've certainly been here before, winning Game 5 a little more than a week ago against Tarek Skubal and the Detroit Tigers in 15.
Seattle's first ever Game 7 in franchise history. Toronto has only played one. That was back in 1985. Shane Bieber will pitch for Toronto. The Mariners will go with George Kirby. First pitch is at 5:08. All right, Seahawks, of course, don't play till tonight. They'll be hosting Houston at Lumen Field. Late start there, 7 p.m. on ESPN. There's the rest of the NFC West from yesterday and your standings with the Seahawks notwithstanding. We'll know more tomorrow. We'll have highlights as well. Seattle Kraken is on the road, longest road trip of the year. They got Philadelphia. They'll be in the city of brotherly love. The Kraken are 3-0-2 and they're second in the Pacific. The Flyers are 2-2-1, sitting currently in 6th place in the Metro Division, and they'll drop the puck on Kong TV at 4 o'clock. College football, Huskies went to the Big House and lost to Michigan 24-7. Cougars couged it. That's the only way to put it. They should have taken Virginia. They didn't. The Cavaliers came back and won. Eastern won again, and Central is rolling over the competition. They just creamed Texas A&M Kingsville. Well, a crucial penalty for hurdling cost Eastmont a chance to tie Moses Lake late in the third quarter of their Big 9 showdown at Wildcat Stadium on Friday night. The Mavericks come away with a 21-0 victory. The penalty came near the end of a 24-play, 78-yard drive that took 11 minutes and 28 seconds. But Eastmont failed to score. The Mavericks would score twice more. Moses Lake remains undefeated at 7-0, 4-0 in Big 9 play. The Wildcats fall to 4-2, overall 4-1 in Big 9 play. Rest of the Big 9 scores: Panthers hit the road. They beat Davis, and West Valley took care of Eisenhower, but everybody does in Yakima. SCAC football, South Central Athletic Conference. Kashmir rolls right along. Royal victors. Wapato, Natchez Valley, and Zilla blowouts across the board on Friday. Carroll Buttrell League, they finally get to play some league games. It was homecoming in Chelan, but OMAC got the better part of the Goats. Cascade knocked off Medical Lake in non-league action, 41-0. CWAC football from over the weekend. All the games on Friday, one close one, Grandview and Quincy. The rest of them not so close. As you can see, Central Washington B football from both Thursday and Friday. Moses Lake Christian victorious. Your winners on Friday. Liberty Bell in a big way. Bridgeport rolled over Soap Lake. Okanagan rolled over Brewster. Tenasket 34, Manson 7, and Antioch defeated Waterville Mansfield 66-22. And the Wenatchee Wild, they're struggling. They have played 9 games so far this year, and they are 1-6-1-1, and they just have 4 points. They were swept and rather handily over the weekend at Vancouver and at Seattle. They'll be at Penticton this Friday at 7 o'clock, and then home to Tri-City on Saturday. And those are just some of the games that people are playing. At 27 minutes after the hour, happy International Sloth Day. Today, the sloth gets a bad name. There it is, Happy International Sloth Day. Today, I don't know why sloths get such a bad name. They're actually not too bad. There are 2-toed sloths and 3-toed sloths. How can you tell the difference? You count the toes. So I'm told. Where do they live? Mostly in the rainforests of South America and Central America. Their metabolism is so slow that a sloth only needs to go to the bathroom once or maybe twice a week. That ain't bad. They spend about 90% of their time hanging upside down. The hair on a sloth grows opposite of almost all the other mammals. Why, I don't know. They can travel 3 times faster in water than they can on land. They can hold their breath up to 40 minutes at a time. They use their tummy as a flotation device. And it takes about a month for 1 leaf to get fully digested. They eat mostly buds, leaves, and shoots. And by the way, they're also very strong. The average sloth is about 3 times stronger than we are. Celebrate the sloth today. I know I will. Today in history, they signed the treaty in 1818 to finally finalize the border between Canada and the United States, the 49th parallel for almost the entire length of it. But they didn't look close enough at that little bitty protuberance just below the 49th parallel. We know it as Point Roberts. It was after they signed the treaty they went, oh man, we forgot about this. So what are we going to do? A couple of times they said, Point Roberts, you just want to join Canada? We got no problems with that, but they've never actually done so. Point Roberts, population 1,191. If you want to get there by land, you got to go through Canada and then back again. Point Roberts. It's a cool place, though. I've been there. This is the 74th anniversary of what's become known as the Johnny Bright incident. Drake visits Oklahoma A&M, now known as Oklahoma State University. Needless to say, Johnny Bright was African American. The footage is going to shock you because they told Johnny Bright and Drake University that we're going to knock this guy out of the game the first chance that we have, because here at Oklahoma A&M, Oklahoma State, we don't like African American football players. And so that's what they did. On the very first play of the game, offensive play of the game for the Drake Bulldogs, they simply punched him right in the cheek and knocked him out cold. The president of Oklahoma A&M, again now Oklahoma State, Oliver Wilhelm, said nothing happened. You know, even though they showed pictures and films nationwide, he says, I don't know what you're talking about. We didn't do anything. And they would cover up this incident for 50 years. Whenever anybody brought it up, Oklahoma State would just say, oh, no, never happened. No comment. They knocked him right out of the game. I mean, the guy ended up in the hospital. In 2005, 22 years after Johnny Bright died, Oklahoma State formally apologized to Drake University for taking their very best player and punching him in the face on the first play of the game. 52 years ago today, Saturday, October 20th, 1973, the Saturday Night Massacre. Nixon did not like what Archibald Cox was doing with his special prosecutor. He told his attorney general to fire Archibald Cox. He said, I won't do it. So Nixon fired his attorney general. He told his assistant attorney general, William Ruckelshaus, to fire Archibald Cox. He wouldn't do it. It became known as the Saturday Night Massacre, and it dominated the news, and here it is.
The Tonight Show will not be seen tonight, so that we may bring you the following NBC News special report.
Some things I feel very deeply about are at stake, and I hope that I can explain and defend them steadfastly.
Good evening. The country tonight is in the midst of what may be the most serious constitutional crisis in its history. The president has fired the man you just saw, the special Watergate prosecutor, Archibald Cox, and he has sent FBI agents to the office of the special prosecution staff and to the attorney general and the deputy attorney general, and the president has ordered the FBI to seal off those offices. Because of the president's action, the attorney general has resigned. Elliot Richardson, who was appointed attorney general only last May in the midst of the Watergate scandals, has quit, saying he cannot carry out Mr. Nixon's instructions. Richardson's deputy, William Ruckelshaus, has been fired. Ruckelshaus refused, in a moment of constitutional drama, to obey a presidential order to fire the special Watergate prosecutor. So here is where we stand. The president has offered a compromise designed to circumvent a court order which would have required him to turn over the secret tapes to a federal judge. He has lost his attorney general in a dramatic resignation. Mr. Nixon then tried to get the deputy attorney general to fire the special Watergate prosecutor, and when the deputy attorney general wouldn't do it, he was fired. Then Mr. Nixon got the Solicitor General to do the job and named him the acting head of the Justice Department. And half an hour after the special Watergate prosecutor had been fired, agents of the FBI, acting at the direction of the White House, sealed off the offices of the special prosecutor, the offices of the Attorney General, and the offices of the Deputy Attorney General. That's a stunning development, and nothing even remotely like it has happened in all of our history.
And thus the cries to impeach Nixon began to gain a little more volume. And finally, on this date in 1977, the Leonard Skinner plane crash. Ronnie Van Zant, Steve Gaines, Cassie Gaines, their road manager Dean Kilpatrick, and both pilots died when the plane went down in Gillsburg, Mississippi. Why did the plane crash? It ran out of gas. Let's do some birthdays. Heavenly birthdays, bunch of them. Mickey Charles Mantle, the greatest switch hitter in baseball history, born in the state in 1931. We lost him way too early. He's been gone now for 30 years. Greatest switch hitter of all time and one of baseball's all-time greatest player, Mickey Mantle, born in the state in 1931. You know him as Lenny Briscoe from Law and Order. He was also a big Broadway star in a couple of movies you may have heard of. Jerry Orbach, born in the state 90 years ago today. We lost Jerry also at a young age. Tom Petty would have been 75 years old today. We lost Tom way too early. We lost Mickey and Jerry and Tom way too early, but we still got Calvin Broadus. Calvin Broadus, he's 54 years old today. Happy birthday, Snoop Dogg. You're 54. Somebody should probably tell him. And of course, John Krasinski celebrates birthday number 46, always will be known as Jim Halpert in The Office. For heat and air, call Alpine Air. For heat and air, call Alpine Air. They are our platinum sponsors, and we're darn proud to have them on board. A brand new opinion from Mike Mad Dog Minotti. You've never seen it because we've never aired it. And then my good buddy Pete Van Well from the Wenatchee Rotary. But all the Rotaries are combining for a big event that you don't want to miss. Pete will join me when we come back. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Handoff to Zielinski around the right side. Got away from one man, got away from two. Squirts between
High school sports is back this fall on the NCW Life channel. Watch Eastmont, Wenatchee, and Cashmere games right here. Coverage is brought to you in part by our platinum supporter, Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. Also by Abby's Pizza, Apple Valley Honda, Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning, Global Car Care, and Highlander Golf Course and Grill. Watch high school sports on your local TV station, the NCW Life channel.
Foothills Magazine invites you to Eastern Washington's premier food and wine event, the Wenatchee Wine and Food Festival, Saturday, November 8th. Celebrate the region's best wines, savor delicious bites from top local chefs, and enjoy craft beer, cider, live entertainment, and more. All guests receive a keepsake wine glass, and our exclusive VIP experience offers even more to sip and savor. Tickets are limited. Get yours now at WenatcheeWineandFood.com.
This is Mike Mad Dog Minotti, and everybody's entitled to my opinion. Now, for a number of reasons, some I don't need to name, there is a good deal of strife and animosity between Christians and those they are supposed to be showing Jesus to. You know, I wonder if the militant Christian nationalist movement is aware of how significantly they are turning those away who they're supposed to be showing Christ's grace and mercy to. These folks instead are being turned into enemies of the church, not enemies of Jesus. Let me make that clear. So I will say again, as I have many times, look at Jesus, not his followers. And once again, I'll give this advice. If you want to know what Jesus and not some of his followers want you to know, read the Sermon on the Mount, Matthew 5-7, good stuff. This is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and that's my opinion.
Hey, welcome back to Save Mart. What can we help you find today?
We're looking for a mattress.
Oh, right this way. We got a large selection. We have this pillow top here.
Oh, comfortable.
We have more to choose from down here.
Oh.
I think I have the perfect one over here for you.
I guess we'll take this one.
You'll find it at Save Mart. Full service at a low, low price.
I'm Jen Mueller. Watch for my show, I Cook, You Measure on NCW Life. It's part cooking instruction, part entertainment, and all about connecting over food and wine with your favorite Northwest athletes.
Watch I Cook, You Measure with Jen Mueller Mondays at 1, Wednesdays at 2, Fridays at 11 a.m., and Saturday and Sundays at 10:30 p.m. right here on the NCW Life channel.
Family roles change with time. You may find yourself being an unpaid caregiver to a loved one. Caregiving can be rewarding, but also stressful. Taking care of yourself is vital. Aging and Adult Care of Central Washington has low or no cost services for unpaid caregivers, such as in-home support, care supplies, and counseling. Connect in your local area by calling Aging and Adult Care at 800-572-4459 and mention you're interested in caregiver support. Welcome back to the program. We are outside the tap room here at the Pybus Public Market. You want to be inside and outside the tap room in just a few days for a big fundraiser for Rotary. All 4 Rotaries here in our area participating once again in a long, somewhat drawn-out battle to eradicate polio worldwide. I know it's silly. We look on it with incredulity, Pete Vanwell, that polio still exists, even though Dr. Salk came up with a vaccine in the early 50s. But there are still some countries where polio is prevalent. It hasn't been eradicated yet, but you got to keep trying. You got to keep rowing the boat. Pete Vanwell is one of the local Rotarians. You are a Wenatchee Rotarian.
Wenatchee Rotarian.
There's also the Confluence Rotarian, Sunrise Rotary, and the East Wenatchee Rotary. All of you guys are in it together,
yes,
which is typical Rotary. There's no rivalries between these guys when it comes to service clubs. First of all, it's good to see you again. Second of all, I wish we didn't have to keep doing these conversations, Pete, every October, but here we are again.
Well, in a few years.
Yeah.
Hopefully before you and I die, but in a few years we won't have to. But yeah, October is Polio Awareness Month. Awareness is a key factor because, you know, it's been eradicated for so long since the 1980s in pretty much all of the Western Hemisphere that a lot of people think it is gone, but it isn't. And, you know, it's a big endeavor. It'd be only the second disease that would be stamped out after smallpox. And it's taken a while, but we're getting there and we're going to get there eventually. And the science and stuff is saying that we're really close, we can do this. We had spoke earlier about how there used to be 3 variants of wild polio. Now there's only 1, so we've destroyed 2 of them. And unlike other viruses, polio, it doesn't travel outside of humans. It's a human-borne virus. So if we can close it off so that it has no place to go and keep it out of all the human beings on the planet, then it'll just go away.
It's a personal thing for the Rotary folks here in North Central Washington because Dr. Ed Cadman in the mid-1980s was the president of Rotary International. He was the head dude of the head dude, which is a remarkable achievement for a remarkable man. We miss Dr. Cadman. So for you folks, the 4 Rotary clubs here, you have more than just a passing fancy in having this done.
So yeah, it's not only Wenatchee, but also our Rotary district, which goes from Prosser all the way up into central BC. And so all these clubs, because keep in mind, Dr. Cadman, he was president of Wenatchee Rotary. He was then district governor of our district, 50-60, and then he became Rotary International president in '85. And it was during his term that Rotary came up with this audacious goal to get rid of polio. And he rolled out the program, and it's called Polio Plus. The polio part stands for trying to immunize, especially in poorer countries with poor water systems and not the sanitation we're used to. That's where polio thrives. And so not only doing that, but also the plus is doing checks, setting up systems where they can deliver the polio vaccines to children throughout very poor neighborhoods, you know, trying to keep the records, trying to get all this done. And we've vaccinated billions and billions of children against polio. So it's quite a big task. So, but it's something we're very proud of, and we're going to continue in the fight until it's done.
And you can do your part. First of all, there's any number of things that you guys have coming up at the end of October, the end of this month. You didn't just hang your hat on one fundraiser, you decided to spread them out. Kudos to you guys. There's a reason we're outside the tap room at Hellbent Brewing. We'll start with that. You can come here and drink a beer and raise money. Pfft, that's a win-win-win. Let's talk about this event first, and then we'll move on to some of the other ones, Pete.
So that's going to wrap up the month. It's October 30th, so it's the Thursday before Halloween. We're going to have a costume contest. There's a $5 entry fee, and we've got great prizes. We're going to have raffles, and so Randy and the folks at Hellbent at the tap room have been really generous. We're going to have beer we're raffling off. We've got a dinner card for the tap room that we're raffling off. We've got wild tickets. We've got Apple Sox tickets. We've got pies from Paradise Restaurant. So we've got a lot of great prizes. And last year this was a huge success, tremendous turnout. Oh, and I have to mention Randy's throwing in his $1 wing special. Ooh. So it's worth coming just for that, which he did last year. This year though, Randy's upping the game for the tap room. So for every beer sold from opening, and we don't start till 2, from opening to 7, you'll get a ticket for the raffle, and Hellbent will donate $1 to our cause.
Well, good for Randy. He didn't have to do that.
No, he didn't.
He's a cool guy, though.
He is. And the nice thing is, he said, we go, well, we're not setting up till 2. And he goes, well, the guys that are in at 11:30, I'll just tell them, you got to come back at 2 and put your ticket in the bucket.
Or just stay.
And we had such a great time. We had great costumes. You don't have to wear a costume, but it's a lot of fun. Kevin King, who's kind of orchestrating this, he's secured the stage at Pybus next to us, so everybody will get to come up on the stage. We'll have everybody applaud and select a winner for the costume contest. We'll also be selling raffle tickets the whole time we're here. Knowing Kevin, that will start early too. So it just was a great time last year. We had tremendous success. We had a group of guys out of Minneapolis that were staying over at the Hilton, and they came over for dinner, and they saw all the commotion and stuff, and they came over and had dinner. And one of the guys won a pie last year, and he was besides himself. And he was a big, big guy, and I thought, he's going to go back to his hotel room and eat that old pie, because he was so happy. He just was so excited. And especially if you're from, we want to invite, of course, all the Rotarians, but Lions, Kiwanans, all our fellow Service Club members, Leavenworth, Kashmir, Rotary Club members, come down and have a beer, have dinner, have $1 wings, and even if you don't like to drink beer, you can still buy tickets and be part of the raffle. So great time.
One of your Rotarians is a polio survivor. Going to be speaking, I think, doing a couple of events.
Well, and actually he's a Rotarian from Oregon. So his name is Court Vaughn. He will be here to speak to both our club and the Confluence Club. And then that Friday, October 24th, which is Polio Awareness Day, we'll be having an airing of a documentary called Dare to Dream at the McGuire Center at Wenatchee Valley College. And it's a $5 suggested donation for tickets, and we will take more than $5, but if you just want to come, Court will also be sharing some of his story. Not only did he survive polio, but he has raised hundreds of thousands of dollars personally for polio. He and his wife also went to India, where they delivered polio vaccine to children, they administered. So he's very passionate about it. He was just a great find. It was one of those things, again, we were planning at the tap room, and one of our committee members ran into a friend, and they said, oh, we've got a perfect speaker for you, and it all just kind of fell together. And so really excited to hear from him and hear his story.
And there's a bunch of other stuff going on too. The Pennies for Polio, there's so much going on here. Pennies for Polio campaign, we can't forget about that.
That's Saturday here inside the market. Usually the last few years we've been out. Well, this has probably been maybe our 4th or 5th year we've done this. We're out in the farmers market. This time we're inside the market from 2 to 9 on Saturday the 25th. Katrina Bohart is running that, and she'll be here, volunteers from all the Rotary clubs. That is a lot of building awareness and just having people in the community come, and we have jugs, and we just ask you to bring your loose change. Keep in mind a vaccine is 60 cents. That's all it costs. So if you just put in the change you have in your pocket, you've saved a life. So we always are excited because the parents bring, we have usually treats for the kids, which we will this year, and the parents give their kids pennies, or the kids reach in their pocket, and it's a great way of letting people know that we do have polio still in the world. We're very close to wiping it out. It'll be a few more years, but we've got to continue the effort. I think someone said if we don't put the lid on the jar, the genie will be out, and within 10 years we will have 300,000 cases. And I think I did the math. With the number of people who exhibit symptoms of crippling and even death, that would be 40 million people infected. So within 10 years, we could go from pretty much 0 to 40 million infections.
The two countries that seem to be behind the 8 ball are the same ones we've been talking about for a couple of years now. Afghanistan is one. We're not going to talk about that. The political upheaval there almost lends itself to it not working until they get their act together. And the other one is India's next door neighbor, Pakistan. This is a country that has like the 3rd or 4th largest population in the world. They got issues there too. Yeah. So is the fact that the polio has been eradicated in the developed world given people a certain distance from it? I mean, polio, geez, didn't we get rid of that?
Yeah.
What do we care? Is that almost a victim of its own success in a certain way?
In some regards, but I think there's enough people out there, especially from the Rotary clubs, who are really committed. You know, I get all this stuff on Facebook, and there are clubs all over the world that are holding events. Rotary has a commitment of $50 million a year to this endeavor. We've, I think, reached the point where we've spent about $2 billion on this effort. And so it is, though, I think, harder for people to really realize what the big concern is. But again, 200,000 people, and the other thing is we're just always a plane ride away from wherever. So if it's out there, it can get back to us.
Sure.
I mean, so we really want to nip it in the bud. And again, this is a historic thing. If we could end it, it'd be only the 2nd time in history. So it's a historic thing. But you know, along the way, they said, well, you can't fix it in the Philippines. You're not going to conquer it in India. You're not going to conquer it in places like Haiti. And all those places now are polio free.
And it's a simple pill. That's all there is. When I was a kid, of course, it was a shot in the arm.
Yeah, it's actually a couple little droplets.
And that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Let's get some folks joining your fine service organization. Again, there's 4 of them just in the Wenatchee Valley. Leavenworth has a Rotary Club. They're all over North Central Washington. How's the overall health and attendance and camaraderie of all of the Rotary clubs? You guys doing okay in that regards? I mean, you always need new members.
We always need new members because if you ever come to our club, our membership tends to age, be a little on the older side. But
well, not you, but
not
the
me,
others.
No,
yeah.
But yeah. So, well, and that's the other thing too. You start in something like Rotary, and then it's like 30 years later, I'm still here. But we actually, I think we're doing quite well because we survived COVID, and we survived Zoom meetings for not 1 president's term, but 2.5 president's terms where we're meeting over Zoom. And so the membership has held fairly stable. We've got Confluence, they meet on Wednesdays at noon at the Town Toyota Center. We've got Sunrise, they meet here at Pybus Tuesday mornings at 7, so if you're an early bird. And Wenatchee and East Wenatchee both meet Thursdays at noon. We're here at Pybus. And East Wenatchee's been doing Bob's Burgers and Brews, but if there's an interest there, they should contact someone in the Rotary Club they know, because they've been known to change plans. And then there's a Cashmere Club and a Leavenworth and Quincy Club. So.
And I've known a lot of Rotarians, and every one of them, once they're a Rotarian, they don't quit. If anything, they might move clubs. You know, I can't do the Sunrise meeting anymore, but I can do the noon meeting. So they'll just parallel themselves to a different Rotary organization, but they don't just They don't just leave. Once you're in, you kind of have a tendency to stay because you get a lot out of it.
Yeah, so a lot of friendship, but a lot of things, especially if you're passionate about our community, which luckily we live in a great community that people are passionate about. So we've got people who are dedicated to working with the schools. We've got people who are doing environmental things. If you've seen like all the zero waste events at Apple Blossom,
sure.
Almost every event in Wenatchee now, Rails and Ales, all of them are zero waste. And those are Rotary Club people that are doing those projects. So whatever your passion is, and that's always been the philosophy, is it because it is from the bottom up. So if your club or is not hitting where your passion is, come on and
sure.
show us the way. We'll follow you.
And the only skill set you need is to give a damn. I mean, that's, how easy could that be? Again, the big event is going to be right here, right behind my shoulder at the tap room at Hellbent Brewing, Thursday the 30th. Wear a costume, drink beer, bring money, buy raffle tickets, $60 a pill. Let's get her done. Yeah. I don't want to have to do this.
60 cents.
60 cents. I don't want to keep having to do this, Pete, every October. I'll keep doing it as long as you ask, bud. But one of these days, I want you to send me an email or call me and said, we're done, we don't have to do it anymore.
Well, and that's the great thing too, because once we, there's 1.25 million Rotarians throughout the world. So once we get this done, then I'll be calling you and say, hey, we're doing potable water for the planet, or we're doing this. We're going to conquer the next thing once we get this thing done. We're not going to stop. So
I guess, Pete, I'll see you next October, one way or the other, but I'll see you before then. I see Pete all over the place. Thanks for taking some time out of your busy day and seeing us, folks.
All right.
I appreciate it. October 30th, right here. You can do it. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We'll be right back.
BC Outdoor Sport Fishing TV, Season 14. Join your host Mike Mitchell and his special guests as they explore some of the most exciting fisheries BC has to offer. BC Outdoors Sport Fishing TV. Check your listings for airtimes.
I love my home, and I'm always looking for some clever ways to make things more comfy around here. Okay.
Daddy, what are you doing?
Turns out stuffed animals don't have much R value.
Home upgrades don't need to be unbearable. With Chelam PUD rebates, you can insulate your home the right way, making your home very comfy.
It's the NCW Life Community Calendar, a presentation of Apple Valley Honda. The Wenatchee Valley Museum and Cultural Center is bringing back the Haunted Museum for another scary year, October 23rd through the 30th. It's a guided tour called The Protocol, guaranteed to scare the most hardy of folks. Tickets are $25 online, $30 at the door, but tickets are limited. The Haunted Museum is not recommended for children under the age of 13. Tickets at the museum's website. Temperature hasn't moved at all. It was 43 degrees at 7 o'clock. It's almost 8 o'clock, and it's still 43 degrees. If you're just joining us, there's a beautiful view from our PTZ camera at the very edge of Wenatchee Heights. If you're just joining us, we got almost 1/3 of an inch of rain, and it came down very intensely yesterday afternoon into the early evening hours. That's a lot of rain for us. Needless to say, that was a new record. Barely, but that was a new record for Sunday, October 19th, at almost 3/4 of an inch of rain on Sunday, and we had about 1/10 of an inch on Saturday. So we had a good, wet, soaking rain, just what the doctor ordered. And you know what? We're going to do it all over again this weekend. That's our monitor camera looking at beautiful Kashmir. We got to get there first. Sunshine today, 58. Sunshine tomorrow, 59. Sunshine Wednesday, 59. Clouds begin to roll in Wednesday night because the ridge of high pressure isn't particularly strong, and this next system Wednesday night is going to knock it out of alignment. Lots of clouds, but dry on Thursday during the day. And then here you go. Thursday night, 40% chance of rain. Friday, 80% chance of rain. Friday night, 70% chance of rain. Saturday, 60% chance of rain. Saturday night, 70% chance of rain. Sunday, 60% chance of rain. Things are going to get really, really wet starting on Thursday night. Snow level by Thursday will be at 5,000 feet. By Sunday and Monday, it'll be below 2,500 feet. So the snow level is going to drop as the system rolls in, and we could be in for quite a bit of snow in the foothills by the time we get to Sunday and Monday. Certainly the passes are going to get some snow. That's it for us. Have a good and safe Monday. We'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.